Hello friend, today I'm going to share with you all of the healthy staples that I got for my vegan family at Costco. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm actually so excited about this purchase. These are just organic frozen strawberries, but I have been avoiding these at Costco for a long time because when I purchased them a few years ago, I didn't feel that the quality was very good, but I bought them again recently to try them and they are really good. Like before, they would get really watery once they were defrosted, but these have not been like that at all. We have been using them in morning oats, and then also I've been feeding them to my baby girl and she loves them. You can see I actually already opened these for the baby girl and she devoured it. I also find them to be a really good price at Costco. Like a lot of food prices are obviously going up, but even I've noticed like produce prices, which used to stay pretty low or at least fair. And I've noticed that even produce now is becoming really expensive. So I'm looking for all the best deals wherever I can. And with frozen, you know, it's picked at its peak ripeness. So usually the quality of frozen is going to be really good. And the price point is usually a little bit lower than fresh. So especially for fruits that we go through a lot of, I like that Costco has an organic option for a pretty good price. So with the organic frozen strawberries, I also got the Very Berry blend. This one I have been back and forth on because it is a little bit more expensive, but you get a blend of berries. It is strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. So if you do like a little fruit variety, then this is gonna be a good option. We put it in our morning oats mostly, but we do also like it on the weekends on waffles and pancakes. So I do like to make sure I have at least a couple in the freezer at all times. And then for our frozen veggies, the other staples that I always get. Frozen corn, my husband really loves this. He was actually just asking the other day if he should switch it up to something else. So I was Googling the health info on corn, whether or not it is a healthy option. So while it may not be as good as something like a leafy green veg, at least it does have some vitamins and minerals. Plus my baby girl likes this one as well. I can mix it in with some other foods to make it a little more tasty because corn is kind of sweet. So this one just gets added into soups and stews. I also like to do it mixed with rice or quinoa, and that just kind of gives a little extra veggie and or flavor into something that would otherwise be kind of just a bland grain. So it's a good option for that. And along those same lines is the riced cauliflower. You can also mix this with a grain or even with your morning oats. It's basically tasteless, but you get those health benefits of a cruciferous veg. I also like it in my smoothies if I need a veggie in my smoothie. So just another really good veggie to have on hand in the freezer because it cooks up really quickly. Up next, let's do the fridge items. I love that this was back in stock at our Costco because they don't always have it. This is the Wild Brine Raw Organic Sauerkraut, and this is so good for you. It is full of really good probiotics, which like for me, coming off of a lot of antibiotics, I really need to replenish my gut flora. But really for everyone, probiotics are really good to make sure you have in your diet. So this is a really good way to get them in, and it's really tasty on salads, especially now that the weather is getting warmer. It is becoming salad season. I am so happy. So I basically just add in a spoonful or two of this onto my salads most days. It's a little bit tangy, so if you like things like pickles or green olives, you will probably like sauerkraut as well. And it's really just full of such good nutrition. Now this is definitely one of our Costco staples. I have to say, even with rising prices, this has remained such a good price at Costco. Only $5 for a box of organic baby spinach, washed and ready to use. Basically, you can just grab out handfuls and add it into whatever you need. It wilts down really small, so even if you add like a few handfuls into a soup, you won't even notice it. So we do usually eat it cooked, but it also makes really easy salads, and it's just one less thing to prep because it's washed and ready to go. So I definitely love that about it too. And now on to the more fun things. Interestingly, I did not need to pick up any of our usual staples like oats, maple syrup, quinoa, basically all my grains I still have a lot of from previous purchases, but what I was lacking in is nuts, so I did pick up a lot of those. Let's start with the walnuts. I am so happy that these are still a good price at Costco as well. I've seen the prices on nuts going up quite a bit. Now, walnuts are definitely our go-to for nuts. I use them the most often because they are one of the healthier nuts. So these get added into pretty much anything that I bake, as well as things like oatmeal, granola, banana bread, etc. So what I like to do with these to keep them stored for maximum freshness is I like to separate them them into ones that I'm using right away. I just keep those in a jar in the fridge, and then the rest of the bag can get stored either in the fridge or the freezer, and that just helps keep them fresh longer. Nuts can go rancid if you don't go through them very quickly, so just keep that in mind and make sure that you're storing them in at least a cool place in your house, or like I said, in the fridge or freezer. And then along with the walnuts, I got some almonds. I could probably just eat walnuts, but I do like a little bit of variation, so it's nice to have some different options. I also love that Costco sells all the raw versions of the nuts, so that way I can toast them up myself if we do want some toasted nuts, or we can just keep them raw because they're really tasty that way too. And the last of our nuts, actually these aren't nuts, these are seeds, but close enough. These are the organic pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are really good for you. They have magnesium, they have protein, and these ones are already roasted and salted, but I really like these on top of salads. Sometimes in a salad, you just need that little salty crunch. These are also really good for snacking on as well. If usually your go-to is something like chips, you can just do a handful of these instead. So I'm excited about that. Another little snack option is these organic sun-dried figs. These were kind of an impulse buy, and they were also a little bit pricey, but you know what? I actually went to Costco thinking I was gonna buy their big bag of dark chocolate, and these were not only less expensive, but also probably a little bit healthier. And I've had these ones before. They are quite nice because they're not too dried out. So these also make a really good alternative to dates in things like energy balls. So I didn't get the dates this time. I opted for the dried figs instead. You can definitely tell when I've been to Costco hungry because I end up with quite a few more impulse items than I would otherwise. But these I am actually really excited about because I love peanut butter pretzels. When I used to live in California, I used to go to Trader Joe's all the time, and peanut butter pretzels from Trader Joe's are like one of my all-time favorite snacks. So I saw these at Costco today. I have not tried them. I don't know how they compare to the Trader Joe's version. Hopefully they are just as delicious. You know what? I'm really curious. Let's try these together right now. Okay, maybe I'm biased, but I do think the Trader Joe's version is a little bit better. It has a little more peanut butter, but these are still good. Since these are the only ones I can get anyway at this time, it'll have to do. And I also got these Pretzel Crisps. You guys are gonna think I'm like pretzel crazy. I do love pretzels a lot, but these I have found are just the perfect complement to hummus. And I've tried other crackers with hummus, but it's just not the same. I need the Pretzel Crisps. So I actually bought the Costco hummus like a little while back, and I haven't even finished it, which is very unlike me. And it's because I didn't have any Pretzel Crisps to go with it. So these are pretty much reserved for just a pretzel hummus snack, and that's it. But occasionally I will also make chocolate bark with them. Chocolate and pretzel is also one of the best combinations. So sometimes I will melt some dark chocolate and sprinkle some crushed up pieces of pretzel on there, and that just makes such a good little dessert snack. So these I do get from Costco quite often. And then the last of our snacky snacks, my other recent obsession is these almond flour crackers. I think that they taste kind of like Cheez-Its or Goldfish. I mean, not as cheesy, but very reminiscent of both of those snacks, which I used to love before I was vegan. So as an alternative to those, these are really, really tasty. I snack on these plain. I've tried them with the hummus, and for me, it just isn't as tasty as these plain. So usually I just grab a couple of these with a tea, and that makes a really nice afternoon snack. If I sound like I'm all about the snacks right now, it's because life with a 1-year-old means that, you know, sometimes you don't have time for a proper meal. You just need a really quick little bite of something. So yeah, I've been snacking it up lately. And I do love the ingredients on these as well. They are pretty healthy. It's almond, sunflower seeds, and flax mixed with tapioca starch and cassava flour. But be forewarned, they are addictive. I have gone through a lot of these in the past year. Up next, we have another staple, peanut butter. I do wish our Costco had the organic peanut butter as an option, but the one good thing is that it is a really good price at Costco. It seems to have stayed pretty consistently priced. So my husband often uses this in his morning oats, and it's also really good to have on hand for things like PB&Js. And then pro tip for your peanut butter, since there is some oil separation at the top for these natural peanut butters that are just one ingredient, I like to store them upside down down, and that helps the oil kind of travel to the bottom so that when you open it and stir all that oil in and mix it up, it makes it just a little bit easier. So I actually just store these in my pantry upside down like this. And then last, but certainly not least, in fact, I am very excited about this purchase. This is the organic ginger lemonade kombucha. Now let me know in the comments if you have had kombucha before and if you like it or not, because it's kind of a divisive drink. Some people love it, some people hate it. My husband is not a fan at all. He says it tastes like drinking vinegar, but I absolutely love it. I will opt to drink this instead of soda. Not that I'm a big soda person anyway, but I just think that this is so tasty. I crave this in the afternoons, especially on those warmer days. It is just such a nice little treat. Now, some people are gonna say it is really healthy because of the probiotics in kombucha, but of course there is also cane sugar in it. So some people will say it's almost the same as drinking a soda, which I somewhat disagree with because you are getting like those health benefits of the probiotics. And this one also has lemon and ginger, which are really healthy for you. So I personally do think it's healthier than soda, but I think just be aware that there is added sugar in it. Also, pro tip, do not shake your kombucha before you drink it, or you can shake it, but then let it settle. It's like soda, it will explode. Now, do I wish there were different flavor options at our Costco? Absolutely, but at least this is a pretty good price. Kombucha at my local health food store is pretty expensive. I think it's like $4 per bottle here. Whereas when you buy it at Costco, it comes down to around $2.50 per bottle. So a much better price. So let me know in the comments, have you tried it? Are you a fan? And if you are looking for some inspiration on how to use up all these healthy groceries, I'm gonna leave a video right here. I think you'll find very helpful. So go check that one out next, and I'll see you over there.